Hello, hello. This is Alisia Young, and welcome to Teach Me Freedom. This podcast is about learning how to live a freer life from authors, entrepreneurs, and experts. Those who have done it and who teach others how to do it as well, and what it feels like while applying those methods to our lives along the way. Every episode will deliver resources, anecdotes, and or reviews to support you in living a more freedom-filled life. Let's jump in. Hello, my lovely and beautiful freedom finders. I hope that you are all well. And it is so difficult to say that the time has come. This episode is to really share with you all, first of all, my immense appreciation for you listening to the podcast, whether it was one episode, whether it was several episodes. I appreciate you taking the time so much and, just showing that this was valued to you. When starting a podcast, you really don't know. You're putting stuff out there and you're hoping that at least one person finds it valuable. So you have really shown that that has been the case, and that makes my heart smile. I also want to thank every single guest for believing in the podcast and sharing what they know and sharing themselves. I know that what they've shared has been so valuable. And thank you to those of you who let the guests know how powerful their messages and their work is. That is greatly appreciated. So I did want to let you know some reasons why the podcast is ending, along with what the next steps are, just because we've gone on this journey together, and I definitely feel it's important, for wrapping up loose ends and saying goodbye. There was something that one of my coaches said, and it's not that you don't have the time, it's just that it's not a top priority. Working on some other stuff as well. And when I laid it all out on paper and looked at the bigger picture, I realized that I wish all of it could be done, but it's just not in this lifetime, at least. I mean, there have been so many ideas for this season, as you know, and for future seasons, but regardless, the decision has been made just with other things and just time and stage of life right now. I've decided to close this chapter. But with that being said, I really, really, really encourage you to take that energy, which I hope there was some inspiration from this podcast, to keep reading, keep researching your interests, and do your thing. Most importantly, um, what I would like to share for going forward is, although I will be ending this podcast with a lot of episodes that were started and outlined, and but whatever, that's just what it is. We just have to let some things go. If you do want to keep in touch, I strongly invite you to continue to check out the Teach Me Freedom podcast channel. So you can look at the Teach Me Freedom podcast on YouTube, and you can subscribe to the channel, because there I'll be posting an update. There are some other things that are in the works, so I definitely will be planning to release a new podcast, but it will be more sustainable because it's more in alignment with things like future plans that have more longevity, and are more grounded in other things. So with those, it's not just meant to be a hobby, whereas this was really a hobby and passion project. Part of the reason why I'm ending this podcast is because I'd like some time and creative energy to focus on writing more, and publishing more books, and also to share more information and research and inspiration related to my business, which is called Eat and Live Free. And so there's a lot of things that I'd really love to share and inform you on, and invite guests to speak on, and to inspire and motivate and encourage you on. And that's really where my energy needs to be going, especially with noticing that with time and every day, you have a certain amount of time each day. And how are you going to utilize that time to really make the most of it and to really share yourself in the best way. So please subscribe to the Teach Me Freedom podcast. I also invite you to follow me on my Instagram for the other business, which is Eat and Live Free. So Eat and Live Free. So I'll share that information, but you'll also get updates there for when the new podcast and podcasts will be released. It's hard to say goodbye, but basically it's not goodbye. It's just that this chapter is closing. But please know you can always reach out to me. Please feel free to reach out to me through YouTube. You can comment. The best way to reach out to me would be to contact me on my Instagram for Eat and Live Free. And you can also send me an email to teachmefreedom2020@gmail.com or hello@teachmefreedom.ca. I'll be forwarding those emails to my current email address so that way still able to reach me as long as I am alive on earth. I definitely plan to be reachable. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention and your belief in this podcast. It has been so much fun and it's really been a dream come true. Thank you so much. And as always, honor your time, honor your energy, keep learning, keep reading, and keep striving to unlock your potential. Thank you again, and I love you so much. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Teach Me Freedom podcast. We hope you enjoyed it and found it beneficial. Feel free to reach out to us at teachmefreedom2020@gmail.com. And if you haven't done so yet, subscribe to the show on your favorite platform for streaming content. Feel free to comment and leave a 4 or 5-star review if you feel so inclined. Connect with you next time.